So let's start the mechanism of respiration. What is the meaning of the word mechanism? So mechanism, the force and motion. Mechanism means, according to physics or kinesiology, mechanism means your force and motion. So motion is takes place. Here motion is there. If there is motion, that means that force is there required. For the better movement, force is required. Force, where force is coming? So force is coming by the muscle work or motor work of the body. So this motion is completing. So here what is the motion? The movement or motion of the air. So air, that motion takes place, that is air. So for the movement of air, the atmospheric air. So this is the atmospheric air to enter towards the lungs. Then gas exchange of gas will take place. So this atmosphere, the movement of the atmospheric air, the force is required. So this force is the requirement of force takes place by the muscle work of the diaphragm. So this is diaphragm. Where in between diaphragm is forming with the help of 12 number of ribs. So these are the ribs. So this is 12 number of ribs. So this is called the diaphragm. This is diaphragm. So, and this diaphragm attached with the muscles. So those muscles are there. This is the intercostal muscles. Intercostal muscle. So in between this diaphragm, the ribs are there attached with lungs. Suppose this is lungs. Left and right lungs. So, though it is a delicate organ, it is protected by the thoracic cavity and covered by this diaphragm. So, all these ribs are there. The ribs are attached with the muscles, including with this is the diaphragm basement. And total muscles name is intercostal muscles. There are two type of intercostal muscle. One is your internal intercostal muscle, and second one is your external intercostal muscle. These muscles help the movement of your lungs. The movement is inspiration and expiration. So due to this function, that intercostal muscles function, the pressure occurs. And also in the presence of serous fluid seen in between the visceral pleura and parietal pleura of lungs. So it helps for the movement. That's why, and also create pressure in between the tracts by which air is coming from the outside towards the lungs with the help of the respiratory tract. So this is the mechanism of respiration. So this is the continuous process. Without the help of this diaphragm, this process cannot be completed. Next step of my teaching is your physiology of respiration. So let's start regarding the physiology of respiration. So for the completion of this physiology, we want to know the amount of pressure and the properties of here. We have discussed the properties of gas, how this diffusion takes place inside the body, inside cell, with cell and your lungs. Here we want to discuss with you. Now pressure of the blood and pressure of the air, I am discussing it. So before that, you should know the two types of respiration are there. First is wet respiration. And voluntary respiration. So quiet means silent. Respiration is there, but this silent respiration in the sleeping condition or normal your working condition, that is no muscular function, no motor function of diaphragm. When you apply more force, deeply, your inspiration and expression takes place here. So forcefully, you are inhaling. You are giving force. Muscle power is giving here. That is voluntary respiration. More power of muscle. And this power takes place due to the intercostal muscle of diaphragm. So this respiration is going on like this, and when air is moving towards lungs, with the presence of your blood, that external respiration takes place. So this gaseous exchange, gas, you know, this is carbon dioxide and your oxygen, both are gases. So both are also at the time of coming oxygen or air towards the lungs, both gases are coming, and the exchange of gas takes place following the properties of gases. So what are the properties of gases? So there are three properties of gases here. First property is property of gases. So first properties, gas molecules are in movable condition. And second point is it tends to diffuse from higher level of concentration to lower level of concentration. And third point is it is exhaust pressure. It is exhaust pressure on the inside wall of the container, and it escapes if any gap found. So this is the three properties. So first is gas molecules are in movable condition. Where you will keep or place a gas, this gas will not in constant position. So it will move always. If you will keep the gas in a container, it will move always inside the container. Second, it tends to diffuse from higher level of concentration to lower level of concentration. So higher level of concentration to lower level of concentration have, so two chamber I am going to draw here. So the two chamber here, so two chamber. Inside gases are there. So inside gases are there. Gas like carbon dioxide and oxygen. Mix carbon dioxide and oxygen. Here also carbon dioxide and oxygen. The pressure of this gas here, carbon dioxide is suppose 40 mm Hg. This is the unit measure of this gas, mmHg. Mercury level is measured, and oxygen is 100 mmHg. And here also carbon dioxide is your 100 mmHg, and oxygen is your 40 mmHg. So pressure of here in this chamber, the pressure of oxygen is more, and in this chamber the pressure of oxygen is less, and carbon dioxide pressure is here less, and carbon dioxide pressure is here more. So according to first property, though here the gas are in movable condition. Inside the gas, the gases are there. They are in movable condition. It is moving. Second property is it tends to move from higher concentration to lower concentration. So here higher concentration of oxygen. So it will move to lower concentration. Oxygen will move to this area. And here carbon dioxide is your more concentration. So carbon dioxide will tends to diffuse or move to this chamber. So this wise I have proved here that it tends to move from higher concentration to lower concentration. And third one is it should be placed in with airtight. There should know this already tight airtight. Third point, it exert pressure on the inside wall of the container. So this is inside wall. So it exerts pressure. Always finding a gas. This gas is always finding in your example in your cooking gas. So always the wall of the cooking gas exerts pressure inside the wall of the container. So this is exerts pressure. Where gap will find, then in between the gap it will want to escape. So this is the properties of gases. So by following these properties of gases, the gases exchange takes place in both the case, that is external respiration and internal respiration. So in the external respiration we have discussed with you that gaseous exchange takes place in between your lungs and blood. So here in lung, the partial pressure of lung is your partial pressure of lung is your of oxygen is your 100 mm Hg, and here the pressure of carbon dioxide is your 40 mm Hg. So this pulmonary respiration, it is otherwise known as external respiration, takes place with the presence of lungs, so it is otherwise known as pulmonary respiration. So here gaseous exchange takes place following the gaseous property that from higher concentration is diffusing with the lower concentration. So the same property follows also in your internal respiration. So internal in the cell and blood. This internal respiration takes place between cell and blood. So here, in case of cell, the partial pressure of oxygen is 40 mm Hg, and blood is your 40. Partial pressure of carbon dioxide is your 46 mm Hg. So following to this gaseous property, this is exchange of gaseous phase. So this is all about your physiology of respiration. So next step of my discussion is your vital capacity. So vital capacity is the capacity of, otherwise known as the capacity of lungs. So what is vital capacity? In a normal breath or in one breath, the inspiration, maximum inspiration and maximum inspiration and maximum expiration takes place in one breath. The capacity in between the capacity is your vital capacity. In one breath, the maximum inspiration and expiration takes place. That is your vital capacity. So vital capacity of an individual is differ from person to person. So the vital capacity will more in case of a athlete person who have participated different type of movement, greater movement like Olympic movement. Those normal person, those who are not working any physical activity, simply moving in the area, so that person is quite normal vital capacity of an individual, and that is differ. So vital capacity of normal individual is 5.5 liter. That is, and athlete person's vital capacity is your 7.6 to liter to 9.1 liter. In case of a person who have participated in Olympic movement, Olympic competition, or higher competition, higher level of competition. So let's prove all about vital capacity. So vital capacity is tidal volume TV plus IRV plus ERV. What do you mean by VC? VC stands for vital capacity. TV for tidal volume. And IRV is your inspired reserve volume. And ERV your expired reservoir volume. So tidal volume what? In one respiration, inspiration and expiration, the capacity of lungs is vital tidal volume. That is measured and that is 500 ml. In normal respiration, not forcefully, simply this is the normal respiration, that inhalation and exhalation after completion, the capacity of lungs is your 500 ml, that is tidal volume. And IRV, inspired reserve volume, is the difference between the maximum inspiration and minimum inspiration, that is inspired reserve volume. So that is measured, that is 3.5 ml or 3500 ml, 3.5 liter. And expired reserve volume, the difference between the maximum expiration and minimum expiration is expired reserve volume. So maximum expiration so this is maximum expiration and minimum expiration, and maximum inspiration, minimum expiration. So this is the volume of this reserve volume of expired reserve volume is 1.5 liter or 1500 ml. So if you will calculate this result with this given equation, we will find the result, that is TB is your 500 ml plus IRV is your 3500 ml and ERV is your 1500 ml. So addition to this, you are getting 500 ml or 5.5 liter. So this 5.5 liter is the volume capacity of lungs of normal individual. And next is coming the total lungs volume. Another point is total lungs volume. Total lungs volume of an individual, normal person, of a normal person, that is TLV is equal to RV plus VC. So RV stands for residual volume, residual volume, and VC stands for vital capacity, you know. So RV, what is residue? Residue means after inspiration and expiration, some amount of gases remain present. That is the constant measurement of the lungs capacity. That will never change. That is 1000 ml or 1 liter. That means inspiration and expiration, maximum inspiration and expiration is going on. Still remaining 1000 ml of gases inside your lung. तो residue, that is called residue, बच जाता है कुछ gas after inspiration and expiration maximum. So this is a residual volume, that is measured, and that is 1000 ml or 1 liter in case of a normal individual. And vital capacity, you know, that is 5.5 liter or 5,500 ml. So here we will add this equation. We will get 1000 ml plus 5,500 ml. So normal person of TLV, total volume is 6,500 ml. So this is all about vital capacity of an individual. So when you do more physical activity day to day, the capacity of lungs will increase. So every person should do different type of movements in their life to development their vital capacity. So next day I want to discussion with next day, that is your effect of exercise on respiratory system.